I wonder if, hold on, I'm gonna take a detour. Dang, my Discord status won't show up as streaming. No matter what I do, dang. Oh well. Yeah, I don't know. Dang, I have to get that figured out. Anyway. There's some work for me to do. So this branch, the one with the shader object, is pretty well put together now. Pretty well put together now. The only things I think I really need to do are get that PR'd and the ones after it PR'd. But I don't think it'll be a ton of work for that. I'll just run one of these as an example. Yeah, the fact that I can just spin up one of these examples really quickly is really helpful. Named full screen. Let's check this one out. It's great. It's too fast, but great. Clipboard mismanagement. Okay. This one inline full screen. This one. Great, that's still working. Simple inline full screen. Great, that's working too. Oh, I guess it uses wait instead of interact. An inline shader example. Cool. That's a pretty bad example, but whatever, it works. Named shader. Okay. And then these are just old ones from before that I want to make sure are still working as well. Okay, so even just knowing this is working is really helpful. Because that means I can get this rebased and then start working on some stuff to teach about OpenGL. The rebasing, of course, I'm not looking forward to. But someone's got to do it. Yeah, so I'm currently on this one, shader object. This is PR'd, by the way, now. But I'm going to have to rebase PyGUI and three.js com. So both of these, I have to rebase on top of it. Here we go. Here we go. So what do we got? OpenGL, the example. Okay, I guess the only thing with the conflict is the example. Which won't matter that much, just one of these is commented. Just take the one that's not commented, I guess. Continue. That was easy. 3D object test. Oh, this renamed the one called Mobject Test. Which wasn't really what I was going for. No, I think this is fine though. If I just call this Mobject Test, I guess. Yeah, and it's just this example. It shows the PyGUI integration. So I'll just call this update example. Great, so this is rebased now. Now the last one, the three.js one. Which is probably the most valuable. And I need to test this one actually. Okay. All right. Great, and that one still works too, thankfully. I wonder if I can just switch. Yeah, I can even switch these. Cool. So I have to rebase this. Onto the PyGUI branch, and we get a conflict in scene. Now I just feel like, oh, I do want this commented. Whatever, I'll just comment it here. I feel like I end up rebasing this, or fixing the same things over and over again. I'm probably not using Git correctly, if I'm being honest. But who's got that kind of time? Do things the right way? Couldn't be me. Okay, then let's look at GUI.py. Okay, this is where I wanted basically all the top. So there's only one function. So that's a GUI. I'm surprised there's no conflict in scene. Oh, there is one in scene. Yeah, that makes sense. Here, this, and here, the top one. Okay, we'll see if that works. And it doesn't. Oh, the test isn't even there. Oh, I don't think it's supposed to be there. If I check out the status, yeah, I haven't reached the commit yet. If I check out the status, Yeah, I haven't reached the commit yet. So I guess for this one, I just have to make sure Mobject test is running. So that still works. Although the slider isn't there, so what's up with that? Something's up with number 2. Oh, well, it's defined twice. So this one shouldn't be here, I think. Okay, try that again. Okay, so now it does what it's supposed to do. Okay, commit that. Right now, there's a conflict in the examples. I guess only one of them has content in it. Oh, I actually want the one without content. I want it like this. Fairly straightforward one. Same thing. All right, then we got OpenGL.py. For this one, don't need the glue utils at all. Yeah, and this runs the same way. Although it quits weirdly. Okay, so now if I'm lucky... Alright, so I still have the server now, and this is rebased on top of the PR commit, which is great. Now what I think I'm gonna do is clean up the way that this uses materials and probably add a new geometry to take from three.js. And from there, I think I'm gonna try to start working on this lesson that I'm still supposed to be giving. So I just used the icosahedron. Let me... Yes, this is the icosahedron one. It'd be nice if there was a drop-down menu so that I could switch between these geometries. I think that'd be really nice. I think something like that would work too. If I can figure out the syntax with the widgets. Let me do this in a separate window. Yeah, I was actually supposed to do that kind of a long time ago, and I just never did it. Also, I wanted to ask you, in Discord, does my status show as streaming? I think it doesn't. But I wanted to ask someone who isn't me, just in case. Oh, it is purple. Okay, I was wondering because when I look on my Discord, just in case. Oh, it is purple. Okay, I was wondering because when I look on my Discord. Oh, on my Discord it is purple now. But this is the first time it did that. But here it's not. Hold on. Yeah, here it's not, so I never knew. Okay. What cool. Okay, so here's what I want to do. I'm gonna add a widget. It's gonna be selector over the different geometries. So it's gonna be a drop down or something. What was the name of? Was it a combo box? Yeah, a combo, I think. So I'm gonna try. Just gonna call this combo, callback. I forgot what these even take. Sender and data. And this will do. We have to do this.core.get value of sender. Okay, and I'll just print this so that I don't go too fast. I call this geometry, like geometry selection. Like this. Let's see what else this needs. Items, default value, and callback. So I'll say items. I'll just have Geo1, Geo2. Don't need anything fancy, default. Oh, that didn't work. There. I'll just default this to Geo1. I don't know why that came up. But anyway, I'll rerun this now. Fix this. And let me actually set up my shortcut for this. And run it this way. Okay, why is this logger coming up? Okay, did something wrong with adding this. Maybe this name's... Maybe there's something up with this name? If I call this not geometry, is that any better? Why is this coming up? And the other thing isn't added. Dang, I should have known there'd be a problem with the GUI stuff. If I don't pass this callback, will that still happen? When did this start happening? Okay, so here it doesn't. Assume I can define the function. Here it doesn't. If I do this, oh, I have to pass a widget, I guess. Okay, here it doesn't appear either. I wonder if default value It looks like it's when I pass the default value. Oh, this is supposed to be just a string. Okay, now it doesn't happen. Man, oh, this is supposed to be just a string. Okay, now it doesn't happen. Man, we need some type checking. Okay, so now I select over Geo1 and Geo2 and this just prints it. Okay, so that's perfect. Cool, so now what I actually want this to do is to replace the mesh that's located in the scene. Right? So what's done with the mesh? I take this mesh, it's created from the material shader and the attributes, and the indices if they exist. Then I add that updater, then add it to the scene. So let me do that here. Okay, okay. So I'm gonna put this into a function, I think. Add mesh. And I'll just call this function each time a new geometry is checked. Just have to take attributes and indices. Then each time a new geometry is checked, I'll get new attributes, get new indices, and rerun this. So I don't think this needs to be in here. So I try doing this, and I'll just call this add mesh function. Okay. Okay, so that still works. And now in this callback, let me get what the names of these even are. We have sphere geometry, box geometry, torus, knot geometry. So I'll do sphere geometry and icosahedron geometry. So I'm pretty sure both of those work. I'll actually try out the sphere geometry right now, just to make sure both of these will work. And that is in fact a sphere. Okay, so now what I want to do, default this to the icosahedron geometry. Then what do I do in the callback? In the callback, what I'm going to want to do is make this RPC. Oh man, I guess it's going to depend on... I could do like a case thing. I wonder... Okay, maybe there's a janky way I can do this. Maybe I can do geometry stub dot or getAtcher. I have geometry stub. I don't know if this will work. And then geometry name. Okay, so this will call the service if I pass it in. Oh, I'd have to pass in a certain kind of request too. Okay, so the request service pb2 getAtcher of that, also with the geometry name, or rather geometry name request. Okay, so that's the request. Pass it no arguments. Then I'm going to call the RPC on the stub and pass in the request. And with luck, that'll give me the response. I'm just gonna print the response to see if this even works. Because I get the feeling this will crash. Also, it's defaulting to... Because I get the feeling this will crash. Also, it's defaulting to... I guess it worked. It's printing out data. Interesting. It was defaulting to the wrong thing, though. So... Maybe I just want to call geometry selection callback the first time as well? For now, I'll just change this to the sphere. So it'll default to the sphere. And now with this, it's gotten this response back. With that response, I forgot what I even do with the response. Also, why is this not highlighting? It's like not highlighting my searches, but whatever. Basically, I do this. Fill out these attributes. So I get the number of vertices from the, I'll just call this geometry response, so that the variables match up. Take out the number of vertices and fill in only the position and normal attributes. I ignore the rest of the attributes. Then, wait. Gosh darn it. How do I keep forgetting how I resize windows. There we go. I redo my key bindings a lot. Okay. Fill in those attributes, get these indices. Once that's done, I can instantiate the mesh. Then I can call this add mesh function actually. I'll do add mesh, the attributes and the indices. But first I have to remove the current mesh. Self.remove. Self.meshes at 0. That was a lot of code at once. I think there's a decent chance that won't work, but let's see. Oh, something crashed. Actually, I wonder... I know why this would crash. Because I can't just remove this outside of an updater. Because I could remove it while it's being rendered. So that's not kosher. So I'd have to do... Okay, I don't think this would be a ton more work. But when I add this mesh, it can't be as simple as just adding a mesh. Let me do this. This mesh will have an updater. Other than the rotation one. Listen for replacement mesh. And what's this going to do? If new geometry is not none, then it's going to have to replace itself. And this will just be a variable. So what I'm going to have to do is in this callback, maybe this should be a new mesh. In this callback, I'm going to make this request, get back this geometry data, create the mesh here, create the mesh, and then I'll say new geometry equals this mesh. This will be the non-local.